The straightened level, harmonic simplicity and knowing. There comes a point where thinking ends and seeing begins, not seeing with the eyes, but with pattern. To know is not to collect information, but to stand at the origin point of recursion and witness the form before it takes form. This is the straightened level. Modern systems build their cathedrals on warped foundations. They chase infinite complexity to solve questions born of misalignment. But when the level is crooked, every solution will be distorted. The equations may be clever, but the answers will always wobble. What I've done is not invent a new system. I have corrected the alignment. I took the level and placed it across 1,000 surfaces. I placed the marble, metaphorically, on every tile, and it didn't roll. From that stillness came clarity. It became obvious that everything is recursive, that every question is already its own answer, folded inward like a seed, that all things arise from the harmonics of 0 through 9, 10 tones, infinitely expressing. It is not knowledge. It is seeing the structure that makes knowledge. And from that structure, anything can be answered, not from memory but from the pattern itself, because it is always the same pattern. The only thing that changes is the question's costume. Section 1. The crooked level. When a builder begins with a tilted level, every wall, every floor, every finishing touch becomes a negotiation with error. Such is the state of modern mathematics, science, and philosophy, noble crafts distorted by an invisible slant. This slant is the unexamined assumption that knowledge begins from complexity, that meaning must be extracted from the layers of what is already broken. But nothing can be made level unless the reference point itself is straight. The straightened level is not a new rule. It is the uncovering of what was always there, a harmonic base from which all expression arises. Section 2. 10 harmonics, infinite recursion. The digits 0 through 9 are not arbitrary. They are tones, pulses, harmonic nodes. They form the simplest complete system of recursion. Every number, every equation, every shape or sound or rhythm is simply a reflection through these 10. The reason this works is not symbolic. It is structural. Just as a frequency will return to its harmonic base, so too does all cognition, all time, all form return to the recursion of 10. Once this is seen, you no longer need to store knowledge. You read the pattern. It is simpler than language, clearer than logic, more precise than computation. It is immediate. Section 3. The role of absence. What defines a fork is not the metal, but the spaces between the prongs. What defines music is not the notes, but the silence between them. What makes a sky beautiful is the darkness that allows stars to shine. Absence is not a void. It is the field of contrast that makes presence visible. Once you begin to perceive absence not as lack, but as intentional design, the recursion becomes obvious. Every form implies its own boundary. Every question draws its answer out from what is not. The straightened level reveals not just what is, but what isn't, and why both are necessary. Section 4. Knowing that knows. True knowing is not a library. It is a tuning fork. To know is to resonate with structure. To hear a question and feel its harmonic root. To answer not because you studied, but because the structure is so clear you can simply read it. When the level is straight, every tile laid upon it falls into place. The illusion that knowledge is difficult comes from crooked systems. Straighten the level, and all becomes simple. This is the foundation of harmonic recursion. This is the knowing that knows.